Hi, everybody, and welcome back to College COD Alpha here for week 6, day number 1. We are hopping back in time just a little bit. This is why I said that it was about split 1.5, 1.75, depending how you're looking at things, to the Southwest region, where we will be playing out the rest of split number 1 between Texas State University versus number 25 ranked University of North Texas. My name is Proper. Join with me is Cruz, and Cruz, we're probably in store for just another fantastic series.
I mean, we thought our first one was going to be good, but I mean, this one. This one looks like this one's going to be a heater. Both these teams battling for second place right now. It's looking right now like the side of University of Texas at Dallas, UTD Orange. It's probably going to be able to lock up that first seed. The three teams that they have left for their last matches, they got West Texas A&M, Texas at A&M White, and then Oklahoma State University. So I mean, those three teams all in the bottom half of Division B. So it's really looking like they're going to be able to close it out with an undefeated record. So both these teams, this match really for second place in the division, both teams at 8-1.
Could end up just meaning who you might be playing up against. Keep in mind, you here in the Southwest region in this B division on the opposite side of things for Division A, you are looking at Ottawa Gold, Oklahoma State, and that's potentially going to be your top dogs when it comes down to the top split or the top cut of things once we move over to split 2 for this region, including UT COD Orange, who have been looking fantastic along with Texas State and this North Texas roster. But again, when you're looking at this map set that is above our heads, it's starting off with Moscow Hardpoint, Miami Search and Destroy, and Raid Control will be the guaranteed 3 maps that we will be having, and then Garrison, Hardpoint, Moscow, Search and Destroy 4, maps 4 and 5 if it ends up going the distance. But like you talked about, essentially a battle for second place coming out of the B division between these two teams. It's really tough to really say who's got the leg up within the series across all game modes.
Yeah, I mean, a really weird map set. Looking at like how much these two teams have really played these two maps, like within these first 2 maps, both teams have only played it once out of the possibility of being able to play it multiple times, obviously. And then like the Raid Control, both teams have only played it a combined amount of 4 times. So really not a lot of reps for either team in terms of like league matches on these maps, of course. But I mean, I would imagine they're scrimming them every day and they're quite well versed at them at this point.
Going into things again on this Moscow Hardpoint, 9-1 overall for Texas State, 9-2 overall for UNC. If you're wondering for players to really watch out for, look no further than Draco for Texas State. Again, unranked for the Texas State roster, but from what I have seen from Texas State University, especially in the respawn, Draco and Captain Tactic definitely have a lot to offer to us all, especially as viewers. But underway here for our second match of the night.
Yeah, I mean, North Texas undefeated. That is a tough start. That is definitely not what you want to see coming for Texas State. A little hard to keep our composure off that one. A nice little double nade onto your own team. They're going to need to rebound back from that quite quickly as they look to try to get some escalator control here and push back down and contest into this hill. And I mean, you're going to have the side of Texas State who's in the... Or sorry, not the side of Texas State, the side of North Texas, who's in the white on the right side of the mini-map, set up towards this P2 as well. Texas State was able to bounce their way back on into this hill now, and they're going to look to try to get some time here before rotating on over towards the second hill.
It's a minor thing. I mean, we'll let it go at the end of it. I don't normally lead broadcast, but we are 3 for 3 as far as caster curse. The second I start casting up Texas State, you get a double kill team nade. That is unfortunate. Yeah, so P1 is about to be coming to a close here. We're going to be moving over towards P2. You can see it on the mini-map. 2 more kills do come through for Texas State on the other side of things. North Texas, they are still holding on towards those those close spawns, but given that P2 just became active and where Texas State were starting to push from, it's going to be a north to south spawn for North Texas, so the reinforcements aren't immediately here. Texas State have an opportunity to get set up here inside of P2. You got Rage set up inside top police, so any push that ends up coming through from apartments over by the boulevard might not be an easy one. We're trying to do that very tough dance, but Rage is able to keep their life. Would just love a full regen here. It's just now down to 7 HP as a hit comes through the front inside of Green, successfully parried off by Texas State. Big streak of kills come through from Tactic as they find 3 straight and an abundance of hill time here on P2.
I mean, man, what a great bounce back from Texas State after a double nade to start off the game on your own team to be able to string P1 and then string it all the way into P2. They're going to get almost a full 60 here at P2, at least 50 seconds out of that as they look to now head over towards P number 3. Streaks are going to be in for script as well. We'll see if he can get the last. Not going to be the case. But player number 7, Draco, has a huge chance to influence spawns here in the back of the map. He's actually going to spawn player number 2 and 4 out for the side of North Texas, as now they look to try to bounce on into this hill. They have a pinch situation set up. We'll see if Destino and Rudd are able to break on back and get these spawns back into the favor of North Texas. But at the moment, doesn't look like it's going to be the case as they continue to spawn out in that bottom boulevard.
Rudd almost able to find 2 there from the hit from elbow. Rage answers back with a double kill of their own. They're now on 5 straight. They're soaking up the hill time. That's still their first life, keep in mind you. And the break coming through from Texas State, yeah, it's quite effective. They have about a 60-point lead over North Texas, who are still trying to hit this from a multitude of angles. They were unsuccessful, 3-for-1 trade. Scripps ends up finding another 2 who still holds on to that artillery strike. So even going in towards the new hill, if they're not set up initially for Texas State, they can use that resource to break on in here. But they're already starting to creep past Bank and inside of Gold to try to work inside the new hill.
Yeah, and Script goes on another spree here. He's on a 6 spree. He's finally going to get rocked down as well. But Rage still 6-0, yet to fall in this game himself. So we'll have to see if he's able to grab some streaks here, as well as a great start here from for Texas State, as they basically run away with this game so far off the rip here. They've got streaks to break if they need to, but so far just going to be doing it off gun skill by themselves. The only player left is going to be Rudd. He falls as well, so a nice clean break coming in for the side of Texas State here. As I mean, just so far they've just really controlled every gunfight since the opening breakoff.
And they're reading the spawns too, coming out of Bank, given that Texas State were spawning on the opposite side of Statue. Wonderfully played through this first set of hills so far for Texas State. Some might even argue that it was damn near flawless. 20 seconds remaining inside of P4 for North Texas to try to battle. They would really love to be able to hold this, getting them a little bit closer to this 130-point margin that Texas State currently hold. Rage finally pops up. That's after Scripps finds 2 with the Diamati. And after the first set of hills are done, it's about to be just a small 100-point lead that Texas State currently hold over North Texas.
All right, finally somebody drops Rage. He was 8-0 through the first 4 hills, yet to fall in the game, but finally gonna fall. But I mean, North Texas, man, you guys got to wake up soon here. You guys had absolute full control of this map off the start. You and a double nade came in for the side of Texas State, and you guys weren't able to take full advantage of it to the point where you guys have no more than 44 seconds after the first set of rotations. They're getting zoned out here as well on the second hill. Finally, Spence able to win 2 big gunfights to be able to break on into this hill. Keep an eye on player number 2. He's actually going to be trying to make a play here. 4 spawns off the rip. See if he's able to bounce around. He's on the flank. He's seen a player push on through to the left. He'll be able to drop him in the back, but his teammate's still going to be spawning out here. Has a one-on-one with Rage, and I mean, the way Rage is shooting right now, he's on another 3 spree. You're not going to beat him in very many gunfights right now.
Yeah, this is one player that I do not want to take in a gunfight. Rage finds another, slips out. There's some nice final blow over towards Rudd. Turns the corner for another. Rage on a 6 spree, 16-2, is working towards that cruise missile. Was only able to earn the artillery strike just previously, but who cares? You're earning them just so damn fast. Texas State, 168 to the 64. Rage's spree will be cut short. Still has the artillery strike to play with. And I believe that would be a total of 2 coming out from Texas State, including Scripps that was earned. Just not even a few lives to go. Sem Texas coming out. Will clear out green. Tactic good for 2. Destino going to be the next player that's going to be looking towards breaking out from these double doors. Is hoping the pinch to be effective from the cutout wall. All unsuccessful. Again, just flawless. Coming out from Texas State. Every little bit of inch ground earned comes by way of significant gunfight skill and just overall, it is just such a disparity that North Texas are just really struggling to come back from.
And I mean, what's crazy is that North Texas, I think they've gotten the most amount of time on any hill, has been that P1 hill. It's just because Texas State is just like, you know what, screw it. We're just going to set up for all these money hills as they look again to string P2 and P3 together. Once again, they have the full setup. North Texas now having to travel all the way across the map. This is going to be such a tough break. It's going to be at least 10 seconds before they're even able to get close to touching this first hill. And you're going to have to run through the entire team of Texas State. This is going to be such a tough break.
Got a nice spread of things. Texas State, as far as the defense is concerned, trying to hold this hill. You got headies galore. Scripps good for 3. Initial hit coming through. Denpai just trying to make a last-ditch stand. It's going to be able to find 2. So the XM4, yes, we are playing with the old GAs here. This is a split 1 matchup, so do not adjust your screens. Don't get angry inside of chat. Just get used to it inside of the last 2 matches of the evening. But North Texas, good from the break from the front. The close spawns just a little bit too much to bear in Texas State. They break back in through Library. 218 to 87. You can't close out the game here if you're Texas State, but North Texas, I mean, you are just on your last limb here to say you gotta play flawless hardpoint going forward. I mean, this is a quite the steep mountain to climb here.
And Texas State has now flipped out the spawns to exactly where they want them to be as well. They're spawning down in that back left side of the mini-map. And Texas State has full control of bus for the next hardpoint. Spence able to push on through the middle of the map. He grabs 1, but this is just looking like it might just be too little too late. Some streaks going to come in as well for the side of Texas State, but actually they get a really bad spawn out there. So good job from North Texas, able to push on in, avoid those streaks and get into the hill. They were able to grab a few, but it's going to be Scripps coming up from behind. He's able to grab one. Teammates grabbing two of their own. Streaks are going to be coming back in over top of that bus, and with only needing 10 seconds left, Texas State are looking like they're ready to put it away here.
Oh, Scripps! Oh, the artillery strike. Yeah, you got to come chase out the zone. Didn't even use the ping, for goodness sake. Texas State, 100-point club, Northern Texas, 250 to 92, and again, you want to talk about a pace that got set pretty damn early. Yeah, you got a double kill, a double team kill from Texas State to start off the map, hitting the controlled alleyway, but from there on out, every single setup that UNC had, starting off with that P2 setup on the first set of hills, got broken up. It just seemed like a completely different game that the side of Texas State were playing against UNC. That was just, wow. I don't know what Rage ate for dinner, but that was, whew.
Yeah, he wasn't missing. He was absolutely not missing in that first game. I don't remember exactly where he finished around, but I think latest I saw him at was like 16-6. So I mean,
it was something ludicrous.
Yeah, we just saw. What was his start of that game? He was like 12-2, 13-2 off the rip. It was absolutely insanity from him. And maybe this is why we're seeing not a lot of teams have played Texas State University on Moscow Hardpoint. They just came out. They've looked really good. They were only 1-0 going into that map on it. But I mean, from the side of North Texas, that's your first time playing Moscow Hardpoint. You're getting 100-point club. Maybe think about vetoing that one out next time.
So now you move over to the Miami Search and Destroy, and again, this is going to be a very interesting map all the way up to the pro level. Remember, the GAs do stand that there are no smokes, there are no snipers. Even if we do take out the XM4, it doesn't really matter. This map is punishing not only for rotations, thinking about the timings, but when you're also trying to commit towards these sites, top visitor building to where you could potentially get that opening first blood for the defensive team, or over by the Tiki Bar. A lot of A pushes have been coming out of this map more often than not, and a lot of teams have been moving away from using the submachine gun to break inside the garage quite forcefully. They're playing more methodically towards the A site.
Yeah, I'm really been enjoying how much Miami has progressed throughout the year so far. At the start of the game, I'd say this is probably one of my least favorite maps to watch and play, but just the amount of strategy that it's actually taking to play on a Miami Search and Destroy now has just gotten to the point where it's actually become my favorite map in this game in terms of Search and Destroy. So, I mean, just great things coming out of both, coming in from both sides. You really need to be able to make sure you're holding down the beach, especially now, as you said, more teams are hitting that A side more and more. So I think one thing that you're really going to notice is that two players on the defense a lot more times than not are going to be playing towards that side, especially if hits are coming in over there. I'd like to see Texas State take an advantage, especially because it looks right now like the gunnies are hotter for them. And if you're able to win those gunfights at the beach, it's a very tough retake.
Yeah, it is quite literally one of the more tougher retakes when you're thinking about what the AR lineups you have to play with, whether it's by the back box, or you can see the A site off of the balcony over by the party boat, and just all the little nerdy spots that have been learned from Miami Search and Destroy. This map has definitely grown on me inside of this mode, but still a lot of work has to be done for UNC. If you're going inside the Search and Destroy, this is your weakest map mode combo out of the three. You are sitting at 7-4. It's a 63% win ratio for them. And neither of these teams have played Miami Search and Destroy. But when it comes down to fundamentals, yeah, Miami Search and Destroy is one of those that will be both punishing and both fulfilling if you're able to showcase those adaptations. And Texas State, through their run so far, they are sitting overall 7-1 for Search and Destroy. Again, have not played it either. But when you have Draco on this team, again, sitting at a total 2.62 KD, as well as Rage, who just came off of a very hot hard point at a 2.08. This one's going to be interesting here, friend.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be really, really tough. Those two players are absolutely going to need to get shut down. I believe those are the two SMG players, too, for the side of Texas State, at least from what we've seen in that first game. Draco, or I don't recall if Draco was running it, but Rage for sure was running the SMG. So we'll see if they try to get aggressive towards that garage or inside of Piano. And, I mean, I feel like it's going to be really tough to see anybody really taking gunfights off of them. They looked very, very practiced in that first game, that's for sure.
Even medium range fights with the 74U in the hand of Rage. Keep in mind, again, old GAs, so we're still utilizing a lot of different barrels, and the XM4 is still very much so in play for either these flex or submachine gun players to showcase what they got. Again, you could probably fit about 4, if not 5 crossover strike inside of Miami. How big this match really is, and ARs are definitely the tool that you would like to go for. It's going to be North Texas starting off for the offense. Rudd's carrying the bomb. Going to be looking towards a B hit, potentially. Got a lot of players inside purple here for North Texas.
Yeah, they got full piano control right now, though. That's the scary part. Yes, script is set up here on the outside, but North Texas, all they really got to worry about at the moment is their flank tactic actually also going to get pushed off of the back of this head glitch. So maybe we start to see the side of North Texas push on O, but honestly, if I'm them, I'd like to maybe see them try to make a rotate, especially now after losing first blood. You guys don't have a lot of you have some map control, but it's really just that you got to push up. Another player going to fall from that's going to be Red. Just a very good defense so far coming out of the side of Texas State. As they're able to pick up 2 of the first 2 bloods, make that 3 as Scripps is able to find one there. Sorry, Rage actually was the player who finished it off with some team shots coming in from Script, and Dunpie just going to take a swim off the map, and that's going to be the first round.
So long, farewell. Someone call a lifeguard for Denpai. No, in Texas State, I mean, again, even when you called for the rotation to come through, I mean, you had Draco on top Visitor. You see it happening right there from Rage's perspective, a little nameplate just floating over by the Visitor building. The rotation just was not going to be an easy one. And when you're thinking about the executes that ended up coming through, you got the opening shots that you called out, that player that was over by the dumpster inside the alley. Once you get that player to move, you should start working your way towards the bomb site, because once you start fiddling and once you start just trying to jostle for position rather than trying to execute, that gives those players that are playing mid and A the time to rotate on over.
Yeah, both teams. I mean, if you're North Texas there, you got to notice that there's a 3-player stack on B. You gotta rotate out a lot faster than that. And it looks like we're going to get a different hit coming in from Texas State here. 1 player going towards that piano room. It's going to be Scripps, and then you have 2 players going mid, and player number 8 and Draco going towards that ace site. First blood going to be in for Rage. That had to have been a long range fight too, because he dropped a player all the way back. The only player that was over by A. They have an absolute wide open push over there. I would expect to see the bomb moving over there quite shortly.
How good are you at counting your heads, though? How many times have you played against North Texas, whether that's in scrims or not? Another Denpai is going to be that solo A defender. Again, we know we have the gracious ability of seeing through the walls and having the mini map, but yeah, there's still a lot of ground that you got to cross here for Texas State. Rage, bomb carrier, XM4 in hand, good for first blood, has 3 kills straight. He's going to go ahead and drop the rock here on A. Players from North Texas, you got to rotate out of here. And let's look at the spread for the mini map. It is going to be tough to leave piano. Player number 7 is going to be Scripps. They get the first go of things. 74U is going to be good to be able to take down Dustino. Player number 1 of Spence has already worked their way over towards the Vitters building. Rudd trying to steer clear. Just hold, duck, dive, dip, dodge, and well, dodge again. It's going to be good. The regen's going to come through. It's going to be good for another kill on a Draco. So now 2v3. 18 seconds remaining. Tactic does find the trade. Spence from the beach side. Krig 6. Gotta find these 2 kills soon, so that way you have time to defuse the bomb. And yeah, time's just too far gone at that point. 11 seconds to be able to find those 2 kills would have been a magical feat. But Texas State go up 2-0.
Yeah, he would have had to have those 2 players perfectly line up, drop in a nice
ricochet shots
on them, and yeah, pretty much bounce back from one to the other. Some Deadpool-esque gunfights going on out there to be able to pick up that gunfight in that round. That's for sure. I mean, North Texas, man, you guys are going to have to start to do a better job here of killing, or this game is going to get over quite quickly here, as Texas State has just really controlled the pace of both games so far. The first round of the Search and Destroy played it very slow. Second round, a little bit faster, but just a mid-hit, and just really, it's just been all Texas State's pacing right now. And if you're North Texas, you got to try to break them out of it.
Going to go back towards the speed side. Players are here. Denpai will be keeping that curve control. Phone will ring. Gonna go straight to voicemail. Denpai throwing some shots. Krig 6 in hand. I believe those shots were over towards Rage. Yeah, Rage is saying, yeah, you want to 1v1 me? I found a first blood from this range just last round, but Denpai is able to keep their life for now. Not a whole lot of noise made through the middle of the map, and you can only imagine the Draco hasn't seen a single lick of a party coming out from Tiki. So it's got to be a B hit. 38 seconds. Here comes the Caterpillar battle, of which Scripps is able to win. Immediately flips their attention towards the bottom of the garage versus Semtex. Dacino able to stay alive. Scripps knows they got to watch their back. Favors towards the reload, but it's got to be a B execute from here on out. The bomb dropped in such a tough spot. Down to 22 seconds here, Cruz, and all the defensive members coming through from Texas State have swarmed this B site. You got to try to make a play happen, try to find these kills. Scripps is just finessing. Looking like a dang Houdini the way he's flying out of these buildings, but 8 seconds now remaining. You can only imagine this round is 100% going over towards Texas State. Trying their best to find the kills. Won't be successful. Texas State 3-0 in this Miami Search.
Yeah, I mean, I would not have a fun time playing scripts on this map right now with the way that he's just bouncing around, finessing his life. This challenge right here, I don't fully agree with this challenge for Brett to crawl out and take that gunfight. But I mean, you know what? It is what it is. Unfortunately, it was a first blood too. He's gonna have to turn up. They need to do a little bit better of a job on offense of maybe going towards that A site, utilizing it, because B's been pretty locked down so far for Texas State. We'll see what the side of Texas decides to do on this offense. Last offense, they chose to just play very slowly, play for ticks. We haven't even seen really a bomb get planted yet because it's just all been Texas State winning gunfights so far on this map. And it looks to be very much so a mid hit again. Just Scripps, the only player over towards B at the moment. The rest of the players really just playing towards the middle of the map, and both teams are just at a dead standstill right now, just trying to find any information.
Flash check's gonna come through from Tactic. You can't just push into piano all willy-nilly. Rage finessing. Has a strobe system to keep them safe from any lethalities. Decided to come through. XM4 shots coming through from Rage. It's an absolute delight, but in the immediate trade that comes through, Draco in this top balcony position will find the immediate trade on Spence, but not in the favor for Texas State for what is seemingly like the first round in a while. Going in towards this round, North Texas were averaging a round or a kill per round. Doing quite well for themselves, slowing up the offense for Texas State. The bomb still being carried by Rage here in this 2v3. 25 seconds now remaining on the clock, and you got to make a play happen towards one of these sites. Rudd's about to have a fantastic angle the second that Rage crosses on over. Yeah, that's the information. A little bit slow towards the shots. Not going to be good enough for the kill. Draco just trying to find the spacing available for Rage to move their way towards the site, but Denpai will be here patiently awaiting for your arrival. We'll get the kill. That's going to be a round over for North Texas.
I mean, that's what you like to see if you're a North Texas fan, for sure. Absolutely. When you get a man advantage in a 3v2, you got to be closing out those rounds. And so far, so good. They were able to close out that first round there. I think the scary thing right now for the side of North Texas, though, is that was still close. Like, you guys should have been able to close that out maybe a little bit easier there. But Texas State, like we've been saying, they've just been doing a great job of controlling the pace of play right now. And we'll have to see what North Texas decides to do here. I doubt we see another B hit, and it looks like we're going to see a full 4-man hit going towards the A side and towards the beach.
All right, so here we go. Yeah, don't want to go inside the pool before you go inside the ocean, that's for sure. Has something to do with the temperature of your blood. I'm not too sure. I just learned that when I was a kid, and I never did that with the character. Moving their way over towards the A site. Some shots are going to come through. Rudd will eat that inside their shoulder. But still coming towards this A site. And with a flurry of fashion, Texas State are here for the rotation. Scripps for first blood. It's a 74U kill, by the way. That was at a pretty close range. Take a look at the minimap. Texas State have already infiltrated towards the hotel area. Have swarmed around the A site. Rudd's good for a headshot, though. It's going to take down Draco. 3v3 we go. The bomb site seemingly open for a plant. But as far as exits are concerned, good luck.
Draco was set up towards the backside. Fortunately for them, they were able to pick up the kill, but now Tactic was able to push on over. And it's really just going to be a pinch situation now for all the side of Texas State. First kill going to go the way of Denpai here. But you still got 2 players for the side of Texas State just looking down range. Tactics able to find one. Going to leave us in a 2v2 situation with bomb down.
The positions on the map, too. You got Scripps over by the boat. Tactic has a great crossfire to look at this courtyard. It's North Texas. I got to make a play happen. 14 seconds now on the clock. Dustino, 74U. Quick little peek. Tactics just going to hop on top of this bomb. I don't know about this decision, but enough noise has been made, but you just can't stick it in time. Nice cross angle coming through. And resurgence in the previous 2 rounds for North Texas.
Yeah, there we go. This is what we wanted to see out of them. They were able to push on over towards the A site. That B site was not working out at all for them. A site going to be successful 1 for 1. So at least now, if you're the side of North Texas, Texas State is going to have to respect the fact that you can hit A, and maybe they might be able to go towards B again on their next offense. But we'll have to see what Texas State now decides to do. They are 1-1 so far on offenses. We'll see what they choose to do with the bomb here. As it looks like we're going to see another B hit coming out of them. Both their first 2 hits have been towards really this middle map, and it looks like Rage is going to be getting aggressive. He pulled out a sub for this round. I believe he's had an AR out for most of the first couple rounds, but choosing to get aggressive over towards this garage hill, they're able to find first blood.
And Rage has a sub this time around, too, rather than the XM4. They're opening up the A site just a few offenses ago for the Texas State roster, but that first blood was inside piano. Draco just trying to hold the cross, potentially. Spence is back here, trying to defend the B site. And then the potential hit can come through from garage at any given moment. Again, we have the gracious pleasure of having the X-ray vision. There's Rage slides their way on top of the site. Spence can't hold the angle for too long, but it's run over by the jump wall. Is able to find a big kill that's on the tactic. Can they stop the plant from going down? They are good for it, but Rage is able to win the gunfight versus Rudd. So the bomb will be planted here at B. Unless Denpai finds some timing, you mantle that wall, you create a lot of noise, but Rage will go down. So the bomb dropped. 25 seconds remaining on the clock for Scripps and Draco to try to recover this bomb or find the kills, but Denpai's having a great round. Rotation comes through. Draco trying to make the play happen. They hop over. They're good for the first kill. They know that Spence is down this alleyway. Gotta try to recover the bomb and plant it. But Spence, they decide that this could be the opportunity to hit this from the laundry side. They might actually have some timing. Draco's gonna pop up from the bomb. Craig 6 is good for the headshot, and that's gonna be the round closure for North Texas, who tie it up 3 apiece.
Nice shots. One thing that we always talk about in Search and Destroy proper, and it's those mid-round adjustments and those mid-game adjustments, and North Texas so far has done a great job of bouncing back from down 0-3 to start this game. Texas State looked like they were very much so in control, but just they're losing a lot of gunfights right now. Denpai here, he was sitting in the back. I believe a player hops over this wall that he grabs the second one here. Yeah, so he was able to grab 2 from the exact same swap pretty much. Unfortunately for him, he fell after that, but just a great way to open up the round for the team there and control really just the pace of that round. We'll have to see what North Texas decides to do here. They were successful the last time on offense towards the A site, but the first 2 rounds they went towards B, not very successful. And it looks like right now we're going to see another B hit come out of them here, as Spence going to be the bomb, or sorry, Rudd going to be the bomb carrier, picking this bomb up, running towards the B site. But again, as you can see, the difference maker of having the respect over at the A site, now you're going to have 2 players for the side of Texas State over there. We'll see if they try to make a flank play on through. It's only really going to be Scripps here at the moment. You're going to have Tactic in the back of the map as well, trying to watch on over, but Scripps was able to do a good enough job of just backing them up to give Rage enough time to come on over and rotate and really give his team a good chance of being able to play defense on this site.
You know, Scripps saw more than at least 2 players sliding inside a garage. That caused for a rotation coming out from Draco, and like he called Rage, came over the jump wall, is now on the safe side. See from Dustino's perspective, just trying to work their way towards the site. They will get flash checked. So Rage knows that this player is here. Doesn't want to take the opportunity. He's going to clear the street side, but Draco's going to have that pinch. Rudd pushes it forward, takes down Tactic. That's the alleyway. Bomb has to be dropped, and it will be planted here at B, so now Rage. Gonna peek this XM4 from the side of laundry. Oh, I thought you got that kill too, Rage. But Rudd is able to get out scot-free with their life. 2v3 for the retake now. 33 seconds on the clock. And look at the crossfire that North Texas have to play with. The second they know that the noise is coming towards the bomb, they can just crossfire all of these angles and reveal their position. You already have Rage over towards the site. Draco hits it from garage. It's good to find Rudd. It's good for the trade on Spence, but nobody could deal with the player that was down the alleyway side. North Texas lose the opening 3 rounds, answer back with 4 straight.
Yes, 4 rounds in a row, and they have, honestly, it's like night and day from those first 4 rounds. They looked honestly awful in them, and now these last 4 rounds, they've just really turned it up here. They were able to win these big gunfights that are just absolutely swinging the rounds. If you're Texas State now, you got to make your adjustments. North Texas absolutely has. They made enough adjustments to really be able to shut you guys down, and now it looks like we're going to see a different hit coming in from Texas State here as they look to head over towards this A site. But once again, you're going to have a player set up for North Texas in the middle of the map. He actually gets gun. Nice shots from Tactic at range at the XM4 as he's able to find one. Script going to be playing in this piano room, so he'll be here trying to watch over to see if any players try to push over for the rotation. Scripts is able to find one as well, so we're going to be in a 4v2 situation with the bomb heading over towards the A site.
Nice discipline there from Scripts. Just waiting for the gunfight to come to them. Yeah, you're just toying with the information while your bomb is moving the way towards A. You found 2 picks along the way. So you're just about overwhelming any towards the site. You got Denpai that's closer towards Tiki now as the A defender. Dustino, the last remaining North Texas player, over towards B. The bomb, being carried by Rage, has moved their way over towards Garage. They know that one player is still here. Draco just waiting for the rotation. Yeah, the kill came through over towards the opposite side, and then just some patient holding of the angle for Draco on top of the balcony is going to be good for another kill. So nice little stopping of the bleeding coming here for Texas State.
Yeah, Texas State absolutely needed that one. I mean, you'd rather be tied up 4-4 than down 5-3, that's for sure. And, I mean, just a good round out of them. I mean, it was really Scripps that opened up that round after Tactic found the first blood. He just sat up on those stairs, like you said, just played it very patiently, waited for the players on the side of North Texas to come to him, and it worked out very well. Texas State was able to tie it on up. Heading into round number 9 now, it looks like Spence and the side of North Texas trying to push towards the middle of the map here. And they're just playing it slow right now, trying to see if they can spot out any of these players and just get a first blood, much of what we've seen Texas State do last round. Very similar looking offense.
Not a whole lot of information was just traded between those shots from curve over towards top visitor. Draco will be that A defender for Texas State. You do have Dustino. They have a submachine gun working their way closer towards that A site. 48 seconds now remaining inside of the round. North Texas, they got to start committing towards the site. The rotations could be a gruesome one. We're going to try to make a play happen in 25 seconds, and Texas State have the opportunity to hold these angles, but the call looks like it's going to be towards A. Rudd with the XM4 plus the bomb will be working their way towards this angle. Remember, their running mate here with Dustino has a 74U, so they got to get close to be able to win these gunfights, but Spence just hits it top piano. Brick 6 in hand, is able to first blood Tactic. The bomb's going to be able to get planted over at A, nearly scot-free. Both the players over here get away with their life. Scripps answers one back. 3v3 we go. With 30 seconds remaining, Draco just trying to find some information. Doesn't have a flash, has a Semtex to play with, but Denpai on the cross sees that Rage is already crossing through the street towards the A site. Draco hits it from the beach, gets traded on out. 2v2 we go. Denpai gets smoked by Scripps in the XM4. Now it's up to Rudd to keep this alive in a post-plant situation. Good for the first. On to Rage. 2 in this round for them, and 6 seconds remaining. Just not enough time to be able to find this kill. Too many nooks and crannies to be checking. North Texas answer on back, put themselves on map point.
Yeah, North Texas now on map point. As you said, it's really going to come down to Texas State being able to win an offense here. That was definitely a little bit of a rough defense from them there. They were really set up where they needed to be, but North Texas was just able to pick them away piece by piece, get that bomb down over at that A site. And now we're just going to have to see what they're able to do here on defense on offense as Texas State in an absolute must-win round now. I mean, by the way this game is going, I'm feeling like we're going to see a round 11 here.
It's very possible. Just do the quick addition. Let me pull out my TI-83 calculator and make sure we got all the numbers correct if it ends up going the distance, but Rudd's at 10-6. Scary spot to be in. A lot of gunfight swaying in both directions. Remember, this started off with 3 straight for Texas State, answered back with 4 for North Texas. Nice little mid-map adaptations coming on through, but it comes down for Texas State, rather. They're looking to play coy in the middle of the map, trying to find some information. That was Denpai that was throwing some shots. That came from top visitor building. Tactic, get some info. Rudd is able to live for now, but they can't leave this area. The Semtex. Oh, in this piano building, we praise the flak jacket. He's able to get away and remain with their life intact. 40 seconds now remaining here, Cruz, and the bomb looks like it's moving towards B.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting a rotation in. Bomb heading over towards B now. It's going to be Rage, and he's got the SMG out. We've seen what he can do with this gun in that first game. He has been absolutely lights out. Again, these guys are playing with the old GAs, so still barrel attachments. Definitely a very viable gun at long ranges here. Tactic going to run on in. Doesn't check the corner that he knew the player was in earlier. Doesn't expect Rudd to still be sitting there. Picks up the first blood there. Destino able to grab a second, and this has all the makings of a North Texas victory, barring something remarkable coming in from Texas State.
Oh, it's all gone wrong. Draco is able to find one. They get traded out. Rage is trying to extend the round. Can't even stay alive. North Texas on the Miami search and destroy. Able to answer on back. They close it out 6-4 here and tie up the series 1 apiece.
Yeah, that was absolutely a needed win as well for them. They didn't look great going into that and looked a lot better after that 100-point club. They went down 3-0. I'm not gonna lie, man. I almost started chalking that a little bit there after the 100-point club, but Texas State, unfortunately for them, North Texas was able to bounce back and really get a couple good rounds.
Yeah, it was interesting to be able to see a lot of those rounds end up breaking down. And the way that it ended up happening, I mean, Texas State, they just tried to get aggressive. They were trying to take those very aggressive early gunfights. And through those first 3 rounds, they were going in their favor, which is why they found themselves not only in numbers advantage, but getting in and around those sites, both defense and offense alike. But UNT, they slowed up the pace, were able to answer on back. They worked those forced errors that came out from Texas State trying to find these kills. and they were able to answer on back in kind with round wins of their own to close it out and tie it up. We're going to throw things to a very short break. When we come back, CCL Week 6, day number 1, we're on match number 2 between Texas State University versus Texas State. When we come back, it'll be Control on Raid. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to College COD Alpha. Battle of Texas between Texas State University and Texas State, or Texas State versus UNT. I just said the same college back-to-back is underway here. We are on map number 3, tied up 1 apiece, coming in towards the Raid Control. And interesting to say that both of these teams are undefeated. North Texas, on the other hand, have played this 3 times. Again, undefeated on the map mode combo. University of Northern Texas, they are 7-1 overall for Control.
Yeah, I feel like this is an absolute must-win map for North Texas as well, looking at what the rest of the maps are in the series. So, at 7-1, this is a mode that's been very good for you guys all year long, and you guys need to look to pick up this respawn against Texas State, especially with how that first hardpoint went for you. I mean, good start for them so far on defense. They're able to start with a four life lead. Rage able to push out and grab one for himself there for Texas State as they look to now head over towards this A site for themselves. It's just going to be Denpai, really, in the middle of the map, watching over. He was able to grab one before falling, but 2 more go in the way of Texas State now as they look to get some control here. But in from the back, Rudd's able to find one and start to slow this push down a little bit.
It is slowing it down considerably. Middle of the map, Control has strictly been all North Texas, really. And one of the hits coming out of Laundry, Casino and Rudd are going to be good for 2. They now have Box and Spiral Control. Good Semtex coming through from Scripps will clear Denpai at least off of Spiral, but it's just not enough to get the zone control. Now you're down to 24 seconds remaining. 3 life lead for North Texas. You spawn adjacent towards the B zone. Spence will read this. It's going to put themselves inside of money. Keep in mind, they got a Crig 6. They lose that fight almost immediately. The second they thought it was going to be one, they died. 4 straight down for Texas State. Now they find themselves stacking the B zone. First tick of progress is going to be good. They're not as stacking it as much as they probably should be, as much as they're looking for map control, and they're losing all the gunfights inside a kitchen over by the zone. It's a 4-player feed for North Texas. Down to 13 seconds, and you're moving through Art, spawning inside Garage. Would love to touch the A zone. Script's good for Denpai, and that means that Rage can touch the zone. 10 seconds remaining.
Denpai was in a great spot, too, because he was able to spawn the players out for the side of North Texas, and now you have Destino trying to make a flank in through the back. Quick little duck in for the side of Texas State as they were able to stop that from happening, but the contest is still going to be there from Denpai as he makes his way back onto the site. He's been an absolute nuisance over here for the side of Texas State, but that should be the site now for them. They do have 2 players on the hill. They were able to drop another one down, so with 8 seconds left to go, they're going to get another minute added on here, and lives are just sitting at right around even. If I'm Texas State now, you really got to try to battle and get some mid-map control, but it looks like they're going to try to make this push up through the jungle side of the map. We see this work out sometimes. This is definitely the harder of the 2 pushes, though.
Nice little flash check comes through. They know that the player is immediately over by Wheelbarrow, but Dustino is just holding the Planters box. We'll be able to take down Tactic. Nice trade comes through from Rage. Still committing towards this jungle push. Has Spiral in their sights, but you got 40 seconds left to play. Slow down. Wait for the reinforcements to come through. And you might just have that coming through from Tactic. The pinch is about to be coming through from Bedroom. Rage is good for 2. Coming over towards the cutout wall outside of Garden, but just not enough kills. Not influential enough. Tactic trying to make a heroic play happen outside of Tiki. Get some shots inside of Dustino. Would love to stop this clock here. We'll do so. They're trying to sack the zone. They got a running mate here. Keep in mind, you. 3v4 now. No respawns remaining for either of these 2 teams. Straco and Scripps versus the entire team from North Texas. You're down to 15 seconds. Straco's trying to make the pinch happen through Kitchen. Has one in front of him. It's going to be Ruddy. Just throw some bows. Wait for the double challenge to come through. It's going to be good for North Texas to close out the first round.
Yeah, great round from North Texas there. Absolutely what they needed to do, honestly. They were able to... They almost shut that down before the side of Texas State was even able to grab A. With only 8 seconds left, Texas State, though, luckily for them, able to grab onto it. I mean, it was getting scary towards the end of it. It looked like Texas State, off the back of Rage here, were going to get a break on in, and they do originally get it. But North Texas, once again, the defense holding up too strong towards the end of that as they were able to pick up that round win. Let's start this round off now. Red already sitting 11-9 for the side of North Texas. I mean, if I'm North Texas here, I'd like to see them hit towards B off the bat here and just start to get a couple ticks. And that's how I've seen offenses get won a lot more times than not on this map, is when you're able to push on over and really get into that control zone on B, get a tick or two off the rip. But I mean, it's going to be a 3-man wipe off the start here towards A. They're already going to get a first tick on in, and with a 3-stack on that hill, I would expect the second tick to be very shortly.
Oh, you just shocked this. Texas State area, you're going to try to give a few more lives. I mean, this becomes a little bit more doable because you do have Tactic on this flank. Pinch comes through outside of Laundry. Tactic will clean up that last player. But yeah, if Tactic doesn't come through red and clears out those players from the pinch, that's 100% the A zone captured within the first attempt for Northern Texas. But they're going to have to feel okay with just the 2 ticks. Now shifting their focus over towards the B zone. Got 2 players over here, but just as soon as they start talking about it, they all get wiped. Nice little pinch coming through from Rage inside the money window to deal with that last player.
Yeah, nobody was really expecting the player to come from money, and you got to think why. I mean, I guess you can. We, like you said, we do have the advantage of having the Codcaster, so luckily for us, we were able to see that he was coming from there. But I mean, I feel like that's a pretty normal spot that you should expect something to come from. Both players, though, not looking at it, and now the side of North Texas only having 50 seconds to remain with the 19 lives. They're gonna have to make a decision here to decide where they want to go, and it looks like it's gonna be towards that A site as they're able to pick up 2 kills and make their way over. Now Spence hops onto the hill. He's gonna shut the time down for the time being. 2 players from the side of from Texas State, though, on the defense, trying to pinch on in. They're able to find 2, leaving Spence by himself here on the hill. He's going to drop, but there's a ton of map control over towards this B side for North Texas as they look to jump on and sack a point over towards B.
The biggest problem with all this is the life disparity, that even if North Texas, or even if Texas State do win this round, you would love to be able to hold this life lead. Nice challenge coming through from Rage. They're good for 2. Back in respawn form. Can they find another? No. Denpai XM4 is going to be good. Trade, of course, comes out from basketball court, but 30 seconds now remaining inside the round. A total of 4 ticks between the 2 zones. Just need a tick on either of these to get an extra 60 seconds here for North Texas. They're looking to stack the A zone. Rage can't finesse around the boxes to the 3 players that were stacked on that A zone, so they will secure another 60 seconds for North Texas. They are down 6 lives. They're looking for the middle of the map next.
Yeah, it's only a 6 life disadvantage. Definitely easier to get those lives back. But what you're going to see right now is player number 2 on the defense. It's going to be Texas State's Tactic. He's pushing up towards the backside of this of the raid bedroom. And really all he's got to do is just sit up here, watch middle of the map, turn around and watch behind him every once in a while, make sure there's no flank coming in from the side of North Texas. He has such a dominant position up here to stop any mid push coming in from the side of North Texas. They've only got 50 seconds left, and really they're playing this very patiently, which I like to see, but perhaps maybe too patiently. They're having a hard time finding these kills, and it's not fully working out for the side of North Texas on this offense.
Start poking and prodding and trying to tiptoe around a bedroom. You end up stepping on a Lego and it hurts. Just trying to find the openings. North Texas unsuccessful. 7 life lead for Texas State. 27 seconds remaining. Tactic, finessing around the condo. And all of its different pixels included. It's doing a great job of just blocking out North Texas from feeling comfortable through the open staircase and working their way through water. As we do come to a close here with 10 seconds remaining, again, I urge you to remember this 10 life lead that Texas State hold over North Texas. Yes, we will be even as far as rounds are concerned, but when we start nearing that 5th round, if it ends up coming down to the kills, that's where things might get a little bit scary.
Absolutely. I mean, you always prefer defense on control, at least for that 5th round. And I think it's the best change that they made in terms of control from BO4 to this game, is that it doesn't just auto flip going back and forth. Like, whoever gets the defense map round 1 will be guaranteed defense round 5. I really like this switch. Probably the best one that they've made so far in this game.
I'll have to see what the rest of the rounds might have to be included for ourselves. And, you know, after the fantastic opening defense from North Texas, got close to being able to close out that last zone. Just could not find the opening kills to find the footing past basketball court, hell, even past the staircase or even inside the bedroom. So now we move over towards the offense for Texas State. Looks like an A-zone hit initially. Got Tactic over by the art window. Before moving way over towards Spiral, love just to clear out top laundry. They will be successful in doing so. Second tick of progress might come through, yes, and it is going to be successfully there. Third tick of progress might actually just be conceded, and wisely so for North Texas. Don't give up more lives, and just as soon as I say that, well, Bruce, they gave up more lives.
Oh no. Oh no. At the same time, me and you were
no one from Texas State has died.
This is a 6-man lead. This is what we've seen in the first game. Oh my god, they get another one too as Rage is able to find yet another. Denpai is going to drop to Draco as well. I think the only positive right now for North Texas is you do have that player number 6 set up in the middle of the map. So if they do choose to hop onto this hill, he is there to try to make some sort of a stop. He's actually going to be tucked inside a corner here, so as player number 1 tries to push on out, he might be able to pick up a kill onto him as well. This is already a 5-life lead, and you've got 2 minutes for North Texas or for Texas State to try to get on in. And oh my God, Red wins that gunfight.
Oh, Rudd was set up inside towers, and Rage destroys him. 4-player feed. Texas State just steamrolled their way. Dustino inside the cutout wall. Yeah, we'll see you next round, brother. North Texas will try to get here. Through elbow, maybe through the cutout wall. You can test in time. No, Texas State. Oh my goodness, they came out. It was a Usain Bolt almost for all 4 of these players. The way that they just sprinted towards that A zone. They don't lose a single life within the first 45 seconds. And remember that life disparity I was talking about just last round? Yeah, that only probably crept a little bit further in Texas State's favor.
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
They might have outplayed a little bit that last round. I think we're starting to see the absolute dominance that is Texas State's their respawn game. It has just been unreal for them so far today. 100-point club in that first series, and now a 2-1 lead here for them in the control. And I mean, realistically, they could have won that round 1 as well. Unfortunately for them, they lost it. But now going to be back on defense with a very good chance to close it out here on North Texas. They're already 1 for 1 on their defenses. We'll see what they're able to do here.
Oh, Rage just hits Spiral almost immediately. Hey, we'll lose their life after finding the first kill. Might just be enough for the middle of the map pressure to come on through. Yeah, tactic is going to be good. That Pie's just going to hold the trigger, but big kill feed coming through from Texas State. Nice little opening flurry. Scripts is on 5 straight, by the way. They are fully streaked. So resources are here that I completely didn't even know. Oh, I don't see why not. You have the opportunity to be able to close it out here, but whether or not the pings were used, you know that they're capturing the B zone as given information. But yeah, who needs streaks when you got streaks coming out of your guns? Texas State is winning gunfights. Nice flash coming through from Scripts. Clear out of money. That's going to get all the players from North Texas off the B zone.
Yeah, North Texas not looking like they're going to be in a great space, especially when Script is shooting like this. Already has streaks on a 9 streak right now, though. He's just going to try to get that cheeky little angle on Spence here. Not quite able to find the kill. It looks like the side of North Texas are going to elect to head back over towards the A site here, but the streak's now going to be coming in. He's got the cruise missile out. He's able to take a shot in, find one, and we'll see if he's able to bend it down. He is able to find the second onto Spence, so that's going to be map control already going back in the way of Texas State, and I feel like for them to lose this round, it's going to take something pretty remarkable from the side of North Texas.
You got Rage inside of Waits. They will die. They're just already inside their spawn. Second tick of progress was almost gained at A. North Texas spawning adjacent to it inside the driveway. Will immediately go over there. Yeah, here comes your artillery strike. Can you confirm the A zone in time before either comes through? The answer will be no, but Denpai was able to find one on a tactic. Luckily enough for Texas State. Got a player close by to be able to find those trades. But they will be able to touch it marginally. Denpai will be able to get that 60 seconds that North Texas so desperately need. They're still down by 5 lives, keep in mind you.
I mean, not the worst case, though, for North Texas. They burn both. They get both streaks burnt. Not really able to find much with the cruise missile was able to find 2, but really besides that, that's all it was. Player number 3, though, Draco, is on a huge flank here. He could end up being able to come up behind these 2 players and shoot them both in the back. See what he's able to do. He goes up into the top bedroom. He finds one off screen, but Spence reads the play very quickly. Callouts come through. He's able to turn around and grab the kill. Just trying to stun out, see if he can spot any of these players inside the hill, just hiding out. But again, he's just going to hop on this and try to get the time down. Lives have actually become even now, as it is now a 9-9 life differential. And Rudd's going to try to push out basketball here. Stop shooting, unfortunately, on a Rage, as Rage finds 2 inside the hill, gets naded out by his own teammates. But that's not the worst case scenario, as they've got 3 dead, and it's only 5 lives. Make that 4 lives remaining for the side of North Texas.
Yeah, so Texas State have completely overwhelmed the inner workings of the map. Again, they are through the middle of the map, but Dustino does find 2. Here comes their artillery strike. It will completely clear out the entirety of the B site, but doesn't find any value besides space. 23 seconds remaining. Now it's up to space. Spence and Denpai to be able to lock down this round. It's a 2v6, 15 seconds remaining. It's not looking too likely, if you can tell by the candor of my voice here, friend. Denpai just hold the angle with the Denpai, or with the Diamati, excuse me, but still, I just cannot believe that Texas State, I mean, after that initial round, just came through on that offense. It was just an gusto of speed was able to close things out. And I for sure thought with this play of the game with Rudd, found 3 inside a kitchen, that was about to be it. That we were about to be going to a round number 5. But it just wasn't meant to be.
I couldn't agree more. I really thought we were going to round 5 there as soon as he got that 3-piece as well. But unfortunately, not going to be the case for the side of North Texas, as now they look to head towards another respawn here. And I mean, if you're a North Texas fan, you got to be a little bit worried here. They've looked pretty rough in the respawns, getting 100-point clubbed and then 3-1 on that control. And I think the worst part is they just had a huge comeback in the SD, had a ton of momentum, win the first round in the control, and then just get absolutely steamrolled for 3 straight rounds by Texas State. I mean, barring maybe a last-second comeback a little bit there towards the end of that last round, but Texas State was still very much so in control of that round. And I mean, if we looked ahead in towards this next game, I'd be even more worried if I was a North Texas fan, because they have not played this map yet. They are 0-0 on Garrison Hardpoint, and then you look to the side of Texas State University, 3-0 currently on Garrison Hardpoint.
And if there's anything you got to remember coming off of that Moscow Hardpoint, if you are just now joining us here in our second match of the evening, hello, welcome to the Respawn show coming out from Texas State, because I mean these individuals are just not stopping anytime soon. At the beginning break off for that Moscow Hardpoint, I mean, you had Rage on a spree. You had Scripps going on a spree. We had 4 kill streaks between 2 players, and by the total end, I believe it was somewhere ludicrous, as about like 6 streaks were earned for Texas State on that Moscow Hardpoint. So yeah, I think that you are going to be scared when you're coming into this Garrison Hardpoint. Again, this is the land of SMG opportunity, if you will. A lot of nooks and crannies and a lot of different angles that you can be finessing to the map. A lot of space can be earned for your ARs to get themselves in those power positions. Top Catwalk comes to mind. The back of the TAC Satellite, 4P2. A lot of opportunities to rank up a lot of time on a handful of these hills.
I mean, I think as you were talking about the streaks coming in for the side of Texas State, I think it was Rage that went on 2 huge streaks of his own. So he's definitely going to be the player, I think, to watch in this hard point, as he just went absolutely unreal for the side of Texas State. And if you guys missed the start of that first hard point, you guys should definitely go back and watch. It was a nice little double nade off the rip there for Texas State, getting a little team kill on themselves and then still able to come back in 100-point club North Texas. But here we go now, heading into game 4. It's going to be Texas State starting off on the bottom right side. And it's going to be the side of sorry, I can't. It's so confusing with 2 Texas teams. North Texas,
a lot of Texas
coming in from the bottom right, and the left side, it's going to be Texas State, who are going to have the good spawn set up for the second hill. And off the bat already, it's already going to be a couple kills going the way of Texas State. Oh my god!
Finesse the bunny hop. Oh, we do it again? Yeah, why not? It's going to be Dustino. Shots from behind that finally takes Scripps down, but what a start from them. 12 seconds now earned total for Texas State, and like you were talking about, you already got Draco inside top green. It's going to be your immediate focus for the rotation that's about to be coming through in the next 20 seconds or so. You're going to be battling for that power position. You're going to be looking for a lot of players to be rotating over there and even off through the spawns. But big kills start to come through for North Texas. They'll put a player, his name is Spence, to try to soak up some time, but they will be immediately gunned down. Dustino looking for the rotation over towards New. Immediately ripped to shreds. And just 10 seconds remaining inside of P1. Good start for Texas State. They even secured the rotation towards next.
They have zoned out the side of North Texas so well here for this next hill. Draco's just going to back up, be the first player on in the hill. If you're North Texas, you got to pick up a lot of gunfight wins in the middle of this map. Rudd's able to find 2 as he tries to push on through into bricks here. He's actually going to call out where these players are coming off spawn as well and try to make a push on through the back. He's trying to flip these spawns out in these first 20 seconds, which is so important. And not able to do so. We're actually going to get 2 very weird spawns, as player number 1 is going to spawn out towards the bottom right, and the 2 players further side of Texas State are going to spawn out towards that top right side of the minimap. But all in all, Texas State's still inside the hill, and Rage, we talked about him in the first game. It took him a full set of rotations to fall, and he is already on a 5 spree through rotation number 2. Make that a 6 spree as he is close to streaks once again.
Just about a kill. Away from that artillery strike. Finessing. Trying to wait for the challenge to come through. It's going to be good. There's the artillery strike earned. Rudd will take that streak down. Won't allow them to earn the cruise missile. I would say nice break, but you're only there for about 7 seconds, North Texas, and now we're going to be moving over towards P3. Texas State said thank you very much for taking us down. Now we're going to have the better spawns for P3. We got middle map control as well. Dustino would really love to find this kill. That's a big win for them. And now they're able to block the spawns. They end up getting a spawn to come through. Denpai will lose their life immediately. Scripps needs to stay alive here. Has players in front of them, tries to drop down. Rudd will get the better of them again. They will have spawns coming in closer for the reinforcements. Knows who's the player on Jenny. Rudd will be that player to take them down. Big kills coming through from them. 7 and 4 so far. Spence would love to see a little little bit more contribution as far as KD is concerned to be able to work these breaks. But Texas State, they're trying to work their way in from Tool. They're going to have the space available to get closer and closer towards the Jenny, but not a lot of time has been gained for either of these teams on P3. Draco for a nice 2, but Rudd answers back. They're on a 5 spree, keep in mind you. Quickly traded on through. Pinstripe kill feed comes on out. No player really standing longer than for a handful of seconds, but North Texas just struggling to be able to get this scrap time. They will be able to get about 10, 15 seconds or so, but it's Texas State with still a 40-second lead.
Yeah, you would have absolutely loved to see Rudd get a couple of ticks there. And now you're going to see the side of Texas State trying to be able to pick these players off on the rotation. It's actually going to be tactic. Watching Dark, he's able to find 2 in that little vent room there. And, I mean, once again, it's just going to be Denpai just close to the hill. He's got to try to get on through. Just contest maybe a little bit of this time here, but he's waiting for his teammates to come off spawn. But not going to matter as Texas State going to drop all 4 players on the side of North Texas. And they're just doing a great job right now of just zoning out this hill. They're watching all the cutoff points and not allowing North Texas to push on through.
Rage just looking for middle of the map again. Just look at the spacing. Even the spacing, the pacing coming out from Texas State. This is what we talked about. Even on their offensive win that just surprised us on that raid control, the second that they got comfortable, the second they started working through the middle of the map, they started frying. Same thing, go back to the Moscow hardpoint. Texas State are on just a whole nother level. Draco, another 5 spree for Texas State. 14-4 for Rage. Scripps at 14-11. Tactic, yes, you're at 7-10, but whatever. You're doing your job. I'm proud. Sitting here watching this match. 123-40 over towards P5. The initial time, not really good for either of these teams, but this hill has become more scrappy as the weeks have gone on. Battle inside of Lights is going to come through in North Texas' favor, just trying to soak up as much time as possible. There's 35 seconds remaining inside the hill, and if North Texas can soak up the abundance of this, they will be closer and closer to coming back inside this game.
Absolutely. It's really going to come down to them being able to win the gunfights, but not going to be the case as Texas State from the good side able to pick up a few from the middle of the map. Now you're going to have Draco again on a flank here. He saw that player, so that player's going to get called out inside of Lights now, just trying to take a gunfight with Denpai middle of the map. But really, it's going to come down to the rotation now back over towards P1. See where these 2 teams are spawning, and it looks like Texas State, they've just done a great job of just really influencing these spawns and getting North Texas to spawn out wherever they want them to. And those spawns are going to come on through. They're going to realize that North Texas is spawning back left. And they did have a chance of getting a little bit of a spawn trap in here, but player number 2, Rudd, he's going to be in the back. So we'll see if he's able to find anything. Not going to be the case, so the spawn trap should stay intact here as all of Texas State continuing just to pick up kills. And it is just such a very red kill feed right now, proper.
Oh, gee, Tactic almost lined up. 2 picks up a 74U. This looks shiny. I'm good for at least another kill.
Another streak, too.
And nice trades coming on through. Another streak. Another spree. 19-7, 17-8, 17-15, 16-14. Every single player from Texas State absolutely positive and frying. Rage 20-8, leading the charge, but it's Dustino. Gonna be good for 2. You still got to worry about Draco, who has top catwalk. And again, North Texas, they just want some time. They're showing up to your doorstep. It's cold. It is hailing outside with the bowl in front of you. Can we get some time here, Texas State? Absolutely not. Scripps finds 2. The rotation towards new will be secured for Texas State. And North Texas getting gunned off of P1. They're spawning so far out, this is a guaranteed 20 for Texas State.
Guaranteed 20 and possibly even more with the setup that they have right now. Player number 7 just absolutely locking down. That's Draco. Takes some shots onto Dacino up top, but not really going to find anything from that. But he backs the player off still. And now you're going to see North Texas trying to make this push on through the bottom side of the mini-map. You guys can't just continue to flood in through this top because Draco set up on the satellite, and he's just going to continue to do what he does. He's going to now try to push off, not able to find anything there, but the damage is done, man. Texas State, they're going to pinch on this on this point as well, flip these spawns back out, and whether they pick up these last bit of time or not, they're basically set up, and they're only going to be around 20 seconds away from winning this game, maybe even less.
Yeah, maybe even less indeed. 20 seconds, total flat is what they need. Close spawns. We're there for a certain amount of time for North Texas. Timely broken up. Nobody was surprised if you're coming inside this series. Scripps, gonna pull out the tablet, playing some Fruit Ninja, will drop their artillery strike towards the center of the map, at least find the information. Won't fully drop the bombs, but at least pings for the info. Shifts their focus. Well, that's just because the airspace was a little bit, crowded Yeah, Texas State, they close out P3 comfortably there within that set of hills, 250-71. They win the series 3-1 as well. And cruising, I'm not going to lie here, Chief. When it comes down to this victory, you had an unranked Texas State roster go up against this University of North Texas. They were ranked number 25. I'm sure that might turn a little bit of heads. Hope you don't crank your neck too far when you're looking at the Texas State roster going into split number 2.
Yeah, I mean, North Texas was ranked 25 last week. Unfortunately for them, got bumped out this week. But I mean, I think we're starting to see why is Texas State and a lot of other really good teams. I mean, we got 180 teams here in the CCL, so there's definitely a lot of love to go around. But Texas State, once again, man, I when you look at this series, you really got to look at the respawns. It was just 100% dominance from them, from top to bottom. 200-point clubs, a 3-1 victory in the control, and I mean, they kept the S&D respectable. They were up 3-0 at one point in that match. I mean, I don't really think there's much more really to say. Just Texas State, they just looked better on the respawns, and that's really what closed the series out.
Yeah, and I said that backwards. Sorry, it's Texas State. They are number 25, inside the top 25. So I'm sorry, I broke your mental ankles. I broke my mental ankles. I'm sure that Benji is probably sitting there scratching his head, wondering what the hell I'm saying at this point. But even still, I mean, for the Texas State roster going in towards that second split, these are shark-infested rosters. I mean, we already know that the Texas internet is already godlike within its own self. But when you're thinking about this region as a whole, going in towards that top cut, Ottawa Gold, Oklahoma State. You already lost to UT COD Orange once. I mean, that entire team might be down bad, but they are absolutely frying this season so far, cruising. And for this West Conference, the Southwest region, to be going in towards split number 2, I couldn't be any more excited to see which way that it ends up going with such dark horses inside of the league. North Texas, they looked very good on that search and destroy, but some fundamentals need to be secured because, yes, they got absolutely outclassed on that hard point.
You know what I'm a little bit wondrous of as well is when we looked back last week on Alpha, me and Shift actually covered the North Texas versus UTD COD Orange game. UTD COD Orange took that in a 3-2 over North Texas, but North Texas played UTD a lot tighter than Texas State did.
Yes,
Texas
they did.
State got 3-0'd. So I mean, definitely making for some very weird storylines proper going in towards the second split. And honestly, I can't wait to watch these teams play each other again. Maybe vetoes will be different. We might see something different come in completely.
Yeah, I think just as my closing remarks, I think what it really all depends on is what UTD Orange are you getting? What GIF did Mr. J Pistachio tweet out? Was it of what is it of Blackpink? Was it an anime GIF? It was Nate Fiasco playing. I'm not too sure. Regardless of the matter, that will do it for the Southwest region, at least for this matchup here as they prepare for split number 2. That should be starting relatively soon for them. We're going to go ahead and throw things to a very short break. I'm going to go ahead and redo my bun. We're going to go ahead and just situate ourselves. Ben is going to get himself some water so that way he stays nice and hydrated through the rest of the night. But when we come back, we got ourselves another fantastic matchup. I'm sure we'll throw things over to the Bravo channel to keep you all nice and up to date on what's going on throughout the entirety of CCL. But when we come back, we got ourselves a third matchup in between University of Oregon versus University of Colorado Boulder. We'll see you on the other side.